Give me reasons to doubt, try to keep me down, but I'll put the flame out, you can't get to me. Throw your sticks and your stones, go break all of my bones, you won't ache my soul, you can't get to me. And there is no barricade that I can tear away. Shoot me down, go fire away, away. But I'm a heavyweight, I'm a heavyweight, I'm a heavyweight, I'm a push me down to the ground. What goes around comes around. You won't put the flame out, you can't get to me. Say what you wanna say, go take it all away, but I'm here to stay, no you can't get to me. And there is no barricade that I can tear away. Shoot me down, go fire away, away. But I'm a heavyweight, I'm a heavyweight, I'm a heavyweight, I'm a heavyweight.
All right, here we go. What is going on, everybody? I hope that you're all having a great one today. It's a wild morning out there in the stock market. New all-time highs were made on the SPY, but Intel is what really is stealing the show here. You heard that right. Intel is actually popping off in a crazy way. It's opening up 25% today, and it was even better at the high of pre-market. But yeah, Intel had a massive gap to the upside. We can see they've been stuck around this $19 to $20 range for a long time, and they finally just started exploding back to the upside. This has been a long time in the works for Intel. It's a stock that I've looked at and held for a long time. I've traded Intel multiple times over the years since I've started trading, but nonetheless, this one is very nice with the way that it's moving up now, up 25%. This lower range has been nice to continually sell puts in and continually average into. Whenever Mike was on vacation a little while ago, I remember I talked about this one at one of the live Q&As quite a bit. So we got rate cuts yesterday. Today, Nvidia's investing $5 billion in Intel. Pretty insane thing to say. It says that they're furthering Trump's turnaround plan. Do we sell or hang on to Intel, Jake said. It really depends what your outlook is. You know, if you're somebody that's trying to hold Intel for 5 years, I would definitely keep holding. If you're someone trying to just make a quick buck, I'd probably look to exit sometime soon. I do like this resistance around 35 to 36. I think that this range could end up being pretty critical overhead. We can see how much Intel has been stuck in this lower range in general. And, you know, with that move today, that is a clear break of the resistance there. It's about time. That was like the fourth test. Fab says, we gonna hit 600 on QS today. QuantumScape. 600. I was like, what? Yeah, you meant the Qs. I get you. I get you. That makes sense. That would have been wild, though. Could you imagine? Let's see the NASDAQ here. It's possible to hit 600. I just don't love this opening price action, but I could see it playing out that way, especially with how bullish things have been today. If we see like Nvidia and the Mag 7 continue to do well, that's going to be a great sign. Tessie's even popping off at open. That's nice. Looks like Amazon, Meta, Apple, Microsoft are all pulling back though, sadly. Apple's still green, but the rest are red that I just named. Jake said, been bag holding Intel for over a year. I've held on and let go a few times, but I have some as well. Obviously, I'm a big cash secured put person, and Intel's cash secured puts were, I mean, that range was too solid to trade with cash secured puts. You literally just sell like the 20 strike puts, and it's game on. Game on. Such a good area of support. Big money trade is happy for sure in Intel. Yeah, they are. Yes, they are. They entered this July 8th. Let's go back. July 8th. Intel was trading around 24 that day. Well, it was in the 23s. That was a big day for Intel that day. I'm going to check to see if they still held it. Oh. Intel. They actually exited this one. Weirdly enough. Let me go plot it, though, to see what's up with it. Okay. So the big money entered, and the open interest jumped up to... Wow. It jumped up to almost 20,000, and it fell down to 10,000. It doesn't mean that they necessarily pulled out of their whole position. They're still holding half, it really looks like, but... They'd be very happy right now, that's for sure. It'd be up like 300%. Oh, no, sorry. More like 120%. Let's see. I'm going to go from the exact day that the big money entered here. Yeah, like 140, 150%. Depending where the big money entered. Jake says been bag holding it. Oh, yeah, we already read that one. Go back to that SPY really fast. What's up, RSB? Good morning, good morning. Thanks for joining up today. Pretty wild morning, I'd say. SPY is, it made a new all-time high, but pulled back to yesterday's, I'll just say, resistance. Not the best sign. Gonna be watching 662.50 now as solid overhead resistance. It was big support, but it could end up being resistance once again. Michael, good morning. In Oklo and MU, Oklo's doing pretty good, 4.2% again. Man, Oklo is on fire lately. It's insane, isn't it? MU, very nice action today. I wasn't expecting that. Let's go to the daily. Wow, MU. They really continued. Great breakout. What a run. A lot of people doubted MU. They had a rough beginning of the year, especially in April, like just the way that they were moving down into April. Especially rough. You sold 2 covered calls on Intel. Hey, I like that. Figured it could pull back a bit. Even if it doesn't, it's not terrible. At least you're getting some premium. You're taking advantage of the higher price of calls right now, given the pop. Tangy says, Palantir's on the warpath. PLTR. Oh yeah, after yesterday's wild pullback and recovery, ended up breaking it out here again today. Wow. Let's see the daily. Very good action. Nice stair step back to the upside. Overall, pretty solid, pretty solid. I still can't believe Nvidia's investing $5 billion into Intel. That's pretty insane. Here's the main headline for you guys. Co-developed data center and PC chips. I mean, it sounds really good for Intel. It's probably because the U.S. government became an investor there. I like how they're doing this, though. They say, a fusion of 2 world-class platforms. Together, we will expand our ecosystems and lay the foundation for the next era of computing. I love it, because, hey, I love Intel. I use Intel CPUs. I would use AMD maybe on the next one, but not anymore. Not if they're working with NVIDIA. I always use NVIDIA GPUs. BMNR is up 9%, Jake said. One of our favorites in the short-term Bitmine immersion. Tom Lee's company looking to do some deals with Ethereum here. Rick says, good morning all. My morning has been the Twilight Zone. Oh no. Hopefully everything's all good, Rick. Hopefully everything's all good on that front. TSLA 431 overhead resistance. Looks like it's falling back off again. Tried to make a pop this morning. Broke above the recent high slightly and now is right back underneath. Not my favorite price action to see here. Let's go back and check on Boeing here. Yeah, AMD's taking a hit today. I saw some people mentioning this one. AMD is selling off quite a bit. Of course, with NVIDIA and Intel's deal, and with NVIDIA's investment and them talking about partnering and stuff, it definitely isn't the best for AMD. So AMD dropped down quite a bit. Fell down around $12 a share, actually. Almost leading my watch list to the downside. Kind of weird to say. Down 4%. Not usually the case. But then at the same time, Intel's not usually leading it. So Go back and check on Oklo again. Okay, LO. Popped off, but is pulling back now slightly. Rigetti. Nice Quantum stock. Quantum's been doing pretty good the past couple days. QUBT, QBTS. These stocks have been moving pretty well. Some are better than others today, but... Nano Nuclear. Let's see. CrowdStrike. Beautiful run. Close to 488 there. Yusu says AMD is going to be advanced money destroyer again. We're going to take the dispenser name away from it. We might have to. It's not doing the best. At least not the past month or almost 2 months now, actually. Took all my AMD money and gave it to Intel. Whoa! I'm not sure it warrants all that, but it definitely seems positive for Intel here. That's for sure. That is for certain. It's for sure and for certain. It's up to $30. This is awesome. He said, not by choice. AMD is losing hard. Go to that 5-minute chart here. Bank of America. Seen some bank stocks do well today. I can tell TradingView's servers are having some issues this morning. Yeah, it won't load the stats. Nvidia's still pulling back though from open. Look at how straight down they've been after that initial couple candles. Strange price action here, isn't it? I'd say pretty strange overall, for sure. mRNA Moderna. Nice action there, up to 25.80, okay. Trying to pop off a bit. 3.2%, that's solid. Daily chart for Moderna looks pretty good. Starting to base down here around major support. You know what it almost looks like? It looks like Intel when Intel was stuck in its zone. That's funny. Big support here. Let's go look at Intel. How it was doing the same type of setup. See how it loved its lower support too? Just got real stuck in this range. Moderna could have a similar situation where it's getting stuck in a range. Might not be the worst swing opportunity to the upside. It's hard to go after healthcare as the Trump admin is not very friendly with it, but at least not right now. A lot of healthcare stocks have been falling. Especially stuff like Moderna that has dealt with vaccines and things of that nature, right? 4.3%. Wow. We'll go to the opposite end of the spectrum. The fun one today, right? BitMine was doing really good at the first 10 minutes. They're starting to pull back a bit, but they are approaching $60 support and support from pre-market, so could maybe see a good dip buy opportunity here. It looks like it is starting to bounce a bit. Could potentially be some scalping opportunities within here. How's GoPro? GPRO. I've been eyeing this one up lately. It's been ripping. I don't know if you guys have ever been eyeing up GoPro at all. One sec. All right, sorry about that. Yeah, GoPro has been very solid, though, this year. It's been, well, especially since, like, May. Since, like, the May or April lows, it's been really popping off, though. I feel like it's been under the radar a bit. I know some of you guys have been watching it, mentioning it sometimes, but I think a lot of people have forgotten about GoPro. What's your guys' favorite stock this morning? I'm sure Intel is going to be the most answered ticker there, but while you're at it, destroy that like button. CrowdStrike's really breaking it off. Wow, they just broke out above 450. That is quite the gap up, and gosh, even moved from open. Huge rip. They have some news today? I feel like CrowdStrike has to have some news. Oh, yeah. Tons of updates on price targets and... Let's see. Wow, there's so many on this one. They're also to acquire Pangea as of the other day. All right, so Jeffries adjusts the price target to 515 from 500, maintains buy. Stiefel adjusts it to 515 from 495. Truist 550 from 500. Okay. Needham raises their target to 535. Wow. Looks like everybody adjusted their price target up here. Morgan Stanley, Deutsche, Stevens, Roth, Capital, Rosenblatt. So, Guggenheim actually has them at neutral. Interesting. It's a lot of price target adjustments, though. Especially, well, we see that happen a lot, but it's good to see them all rising, right? I'd be pretty worried, Xavier. I'd be pretty worried. They're going to end up with hair like Alex Karp. I'd be careful with that. Like I said, that trader knew something. Look at Palantir, 3.5%. Dang. Powering higher, might make a new high of the day here. Really pushing up. Showing its strength again, Xavier. Which big money play, Weck? There's been 2 of them in 2025. I'm assuming you mean the one from July. If you're patient with it, it could probably go up a bit more. Just realize it's a gap up, though, so... You know, and there's lots of time, so, like... You know, I hate to tell you to exit now, and then Intel chops around and then goes way higher, right? I could see it playing out kind of like what I'm showing on the chart right now. Today starts our battle. Oh, no. I guess it does, doesn't it? I didn't even think about that. Good luck. You're probably going to destroy me. Oh, you think I'll destroy you? I don't know. It might be your week. It might be your week. Oh, yeah, I got you, Weck. He said, I got you. I won't blame you either way because you got me to buy it anyways. That's awesome, yep. Now it's just managing it, right? It's too bad you don't have 2. That way you could sell 1, keep 1, but it's okay. Or more than 2, but... All 1-to-1. Benny's 2-0, and Chad is 0-2. Chad. Did Chad ever get A.J. Brown back? I don't think he ever even picked him up again. Rick said, what's the battle? And can I bet on it? It's Mason versus me in fantasy football this week. You had more with ASHR and PDD, and those are working out. Hey, there you go. ASHR had been doing really good. PDD did slow down a little today, but man, it has been breaking out. I'm watching this one close for a continuation. Go back to Tessie today. See it on the daily. Because it is pretty strong, even though it hasn't had the best PA from open today. Trying to make a slight recovery. It's going to be tough to get back through 430, but it is attempting a nice V-shape there. It'd be nice if this little support intraday ended up holding up here. Could be some scalping opportunities if it holds. Palantir again. New high of the day. There it is. I've been waiting for it. New high of the day on Palantir. Just touched 175 and broke through. Mason said Chad's not good at fantasy. It doesn't seem like it. Shaq is at the bottom of a recent uptrend. Would like to see it up from here. Does it look good technically from here? Let's see. SHAK. Shake Shack. Looking at the daily, it has been downtrending quite a bit. You're asking, does it look good up from here? You know, let's draw out this trend on Shake Shack. It looks like there's a pretty solid trend. So this is the overall uptrend here on Shake Shack. It is pulling back right now, and there are going to be some big supports coming up. This stock is a wild one. Look at all the uptrends and downtrends this stock has. Sheesh, this stock has wild swings. It looks solid if you're willing to average into it. If you're willing to average into shares, I think starting right now is not the worst time. And then as it approaches the trend line, you know, you average in a little bit more. But, you know, you got to have a long-term outlook, I think, if you're going to enter into Shake Shack. Unless you just stop out as soon as the trend breaks. But I like it to the upside. I think it's a good possible setup, especially as that trend line and big supports start to come into play. Looks pretty good. If we start to fall under like $80 a share, though, I'll start to be pretty concerned. But it's going to be one that you'll have to average in. You know, there's no way to really call the bottom right here for sure. So if you were going to try to do like a call play back up, as if it was like a, I don't know, 3 to 6 month play, you'd probably have to try to stop out somewhere around like 90 or just under, which would be hard considering that, you know, you'd probably want to hold longer, but you have old shares with 50% plus gains considering adding to it. Oh, okay. That's solid that you're still up on the shares. It's really good. Tomorrow, Expo, RCAT, $9.50. Cash secure puts. Easy money, Tangi said. RCAT, let's see. $9.50. As long as we don't have a wild flash crash or something, you should be solid. $9.50 is actually a lot closer to the current price than I thought, but oh, shoot. They did a share offering this morning. Is that what killed them? Oh, wow. He's fine if we get assigned? Okay. Yeah. I know that you know what you're doing, Tangi. You know, a lot of people, though, this would be a scary play for. It is good support, though, right there, just above 950. Yeah, every once in a while, you'll see share offerings actually help. Hopefully that's the case here, Tangi. A lot of the times, though, I see it send the stocks down, at least in the short term. But that could be the case here. It didn't really drop that much, really. In retrospect to how much it moves. Sorry about that, guys. Had to sneeze. Had to mute myself there. I've sold like 500 plus shares between 10.25 and 10.85 in the last 24 hours. Oh, wow. Now that's pretty insane, Tangy. Nice. Oh, close at 100, Brain said. It actually got above 100 this morning for a second. Came right back, but wow. Yeah, what a setup. Yeah, Oklo touched 100 and popped right down there. It's Palantir all over again. I don't know that it's quite Palantir, but my gosh, it kind of looks like it on the chart, doesn't it? I guess it is Palantir. Kind of like it. The price action's similar. Sheesh. I still can't believe Palantir, like when you zoom out, just how explosive it truly has been. Jason said, Tom, RGTI, Rigetti. Heck yeah. Rigetti Computing, that is fire. 2470 overhead resistance, okay. 11% today. Yeah, crushing it. Quantum is actually doing really good. But Rigetti, the past 20 minutes or so, wow. Ever since 9:48, there's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red candles. And like 20 green ones. That's pretty insane. Wonder how oil stocks are doing. They were doing really good the past few days. Looks like ZOM is trying to come up off of the dip this morning, touch support around 114.60, 114.50, and is actively trying to rise again. Not my favorite price action here, though. Brain says, speaking of Palantir, nice recovery. PLTR, yeah, really good, I'd say. You know, I know that it made a 175 break a few minutes ago. It hasn't really broken out much past that, but it is holding its ground pretty well here. Overall, really good move to be up 4.2%, that's for sure. The big question, and let me know in the chat what you guys think here. Palantir's rising, and it's approaching its previous all-time high. And the all-time high is closer to like 190. So What do we think? As we approach 190, are we going to see lower highs start to form and a rejection start to happen, or at least some flatness, or are we going to actually see a good breakout come into play? You know, we're not too far from the all-time high, you know, probably a week, maybe even less, depending on how good tomorrow and today's PA continues to play out. But we could be there some point next week. Brain woke up 20 minutes late. No! You missed so much of the market action already. Been a lot of good movement today. Some down, some up, but AMD was one of the wild ones. Dropped off this morning, but it's been recovering back. It'd be pretty nice if AMD could touch resistance around like 155, 156 and reject back down. Get a good directional move going there, but it drops so much in pre-market, it might not be able to. QBTS entered. Once again, let us pray. Lettuce, like the plant. Or the food. QBTS here, though. 2375 resistance. High from pre-market. Running up for a test. Lots of these stocks are breaking out today, like Rigetti, for example. So we could end up seeing a pretty good move here by QBTS. It made a really good run yesterday. Ran pretty much all day. Let's see a QBTS. Very close. Everyone knows one leaf of lettuce makes a half-pound burger health food. Yes, exactly. Tangy, that's how I eat my vegetables. That's how you get the real nutrition there. I'm just kidding. I'm actually a big vegetable guy. I like vegetables more than I like the other food. Funny enough. Tangy says, me too. Laser was so nice yesterday. LAZR. Luminar Technologies. Yeah, pretty nice from open. It got a little flat in the afternoon, but overall I'd say really solid. Really solid. Brain says, if you do one kale smoothie a day, you can forget about having to eat any vegetables for the rest of the day. It's a good deal. I know kale is like a superfood, you know, it's a very common one. I used to make fruit smoothies, and I would throw kale into the fruit smoothies. And other stuff, of course, but... Tangy says, I have to eat a head of broccoli every day or I'll die. Oh, no. Wex says, I love vegetables and I do add lettuce to McDonald's burgers whenever I get them. No way. That's pretty cool. I've never even thought to do that, to be honest with you. Brain had MCD yesterday. You know, I haven't looked at their stock in a couple weeks, I don't think. How's McDonald's been faring here throughout the rate cuts? Uh-oh, not very good. Wow, McDonald's broke down through a uptrend that they were on and starting to form a bit more of a downtrend, at least a shift. Uh-oh. Demir said, damn, this chop made me lose money. Gotta hate it when the market's choppy, right? I will say the SPY did chop back up pretty good here, but again, so back and forth at open. No direction really picked until we broke 662.50. It's a good re-break, though, 662.50. Good to see it getting back above there. I was hoping to add some. Red Cat investors ate the offering like it was $2 taco night. $2 taco night. Down 10%. It's holding this lower range pretty well, 980. See if it can keep holding that today. It's going to be a big area to hold. I'm skeptical, but good support. How's CoreWeave? Pulled back hard. Pulling back under 120 actually right now. If we do see a bounce somewhere here, there could be a dip buy opportunity. But it's only down 1%. Its average percent falls 3.8%. It's kind of stuck here on the daily. I could see it consolidating here. Maybe starting to become a dip buy opportunity, like I was saying. Looking for a base to start to form. I know right here signifies that there's a base trying to form, and now we need like we need a good higher low to form off of this base somewhere. Whether it's here or whether it's here, somewhere. Once we establish that higher low, that's where I think the dip buy opportunity could come back for like a 122 repush. NFE, New Fortress Energy, up 15% again. This stock has been insane. Look at it running to the upside there. 15.2%. Sheesh. Glad I grabbed some Palantir shares back at 158. 158. Nice. Nice buy. I bet that was a pretty scary buy there, wasn't it? Working out good, though. You were hoping to add more shares of NVIDIA at 164, too? Let's see. We might not get back to 164, but I can see why you'd want to add there. It's a pretty good area of support. Pretty decent. Tangi goes, what the hell is New Fortress Energy? I know, right? I hadn't really heard about it much until the past couple of days, Tangi. It started really popping off and had some news recently. Let's see. What was that good news with them? They announced a long-term gas supply agreement with the Puerto Rican government. That was pretty solid. Seven-year liquid national gas supply agreement with Puerto Rico. They're going to supply 75 TBTU of natural gas. Tangi goes, should I own it? I don't know about that, Tangi. I don't know about owning it now. As I zoom out on it, it's a little too crazy for Tom, but yeah, I'm with you there. He goes, nope, not for me. He says, I'm already in too many natty gas plays. And you're probably in a lot better, more consistent natty gas companies as well. The chart is ugly. Yes, it is. Really bad. He said it's high risk. Yeah, similar to laser, live wire, lumen. Definitely high risk. How is LVWR? I've looked at live wire in a little while. Wow, it's coming alive. LVWR has actually been doing great the past couple of weeks. I know I hadn't been here for about a week and a half, so I missed a lot of it, but dang, it did have some good action. Up 50% on MU and Oklo, calling it a day. Love it, Michael. We're not even an hour in and you're calling it. Love that. Go have a great rest of the day. Chill out. Do whatever you need to do. I don't know if you're working or not, but hey, at least now you don't have to focus on stocks either. Awesome stuff, though. Dubs in the chat. Dubs in the chat. Hit you with the live audience. BTC is up bigly, Tangi says. BTC USD running, huh? Up 1.1%. It is up a lot. It's been recovering up quite well recently. It almost looks like Palantir. It's kind of funny how similar these dip buys are on Palantir and Bitcoin. Obviously, they don't generally move together, or, you know, I haven't looked into it. Maybe they do move together more than I think, but nonetheless, you know, they're not necessarily that closely related. It is moving up, though, well today with Bitcoin. Like to see it up like this. 118,000 coming up. Big resistance up around 120,000, and then like 123 to 124,000. Wow. Pretty big levels up here. Demir says, well, for me, I gotta take an L. I'm out of here. Peace. Sounds good, Demir. Have a great one, man. I know it's not the best start to the morning, but make up for it. Make up for it. With having a good day. NVIDIA 175. Resistance coming into play. Looks pretty bullish, though. I like the way it's setting up. I can see it continuing to move up. It looks pretty solid. I actually think the setup is pretty good here for NVIDIA. I could see it breaking the pre-market high at some point today. I know there's resistance here, but it's been pretty strong nonetheless. Wex said QQQ broke the pre-market high. The QQQ or the NASDAQ, did it? Yeah, really good too. 597. How's SPY? Is it close to the pre-market high at all? It's getting there. It's getting there. It looks kind of like NVIDIA. It's just at resistance right now. There are resistances to contend with before we get to that new high. Or even test the high. Better up 50 than down 5 all day. Let's go, Michael. Up 50 for the week or so. There we go. Yeah, good job. One good day could be all it takes to turn it around for the week. TJ said, would you buy Intel at these levels? Oh, gosh, TJ. That's very difficult for me to say whenever I was buying it around like 18 to 22 within that range. Oh, I do think that it's possible to start buying here. But I think that as we go forward, it would be very smart to implement a dollar cost average strategy on your entry. I think that dollar cost averaging in here will be needed. I don't think that you should just enter into calls blindly. If you were to enter into calls, I would wait for a slight dip. You know, if we start to dip back under 30, for example, that's where I'd start to maybe look for some calls for a dip buy scenario back to the upside. What I'm kind of watching for with Intel, and I could be wrong, maybe it just keeps shooting up. I'm kind of watching for it to chop down a little bit and then go back up maybe, middle of October, November, somewhere closer to that. Jake says, I don't think I'd buy it. Yeah, I wouldn't be buying too much at these levels unless you were willing to dollar cost average. And when I say willing to dollar cost average, like if you're going to enter here at 30, 31.30, let's just say, if we start to see a pullback, down to support at like 26, you're going to be down 15%, which isn't really that bad whenever you think about it. If you're holding something for the long term, really not terrible. But my point is that you're going to need to keep room. If it does fall down to like 26.50, you'll need to buy in again. If it falls down to like 24, again, you'll need to get in again. And especially if it starts to trade towards the lower end of the range, like 20 to 18, you'll just have to live with being in the red and average in. And a lot of the times, that's a good strategy, dollar cost averaging in. You'll be in the red for a little while if the stock does keep going against you, but in the case that it doesn't, that means that you still got in, and you'll be able to enjoy the ride. It might not be as big of a ride as you would have liked, but nonetheless, you're still enjoying the ride. Granted, not as much as you would have wanted, but you're gonna wait on a dip? Yeah, I think that's the smarter way to go, really. Jake said, welcome to the bag holder club. Yeah, it sounds bad maybe, like whenever you're saying it, and it does almost sound like that I'm literally explaining bag holding, but that's not necessarily the case. If you're entering for the long term and you're dollar cost averaging in on a dip and you're waiting for a good recovery, you just have to also have the mindset that, you're willing to wait it out on that stock. Now, obviously, if Intel starts breaking under like this big support at like 17 or something, you're gonna have to really readjust your strat there. But it's a strat that takes a lot of patience, and I would say if you're newer to the market, it might not be good because you'll probably end up having an emotional time and get out way too early or something. Ross says, Grandma is smiling from above. Let's go, Fraz. I hope mine is too. Tanji said, I DCA'd KGC, BTG, and NEM for 3 years. That worked out beautifully, but man, there were dark days. Let's go see BTG. I bet that looks wild. Oh, gosh. Yeah, averaging in over the long term and gets rough. It's even happened to Tom. I mean, DraftKings, I saw DraftKings dipping off of that big COVID run, and I was buying into DraftKings way too early. Probably up around 42 was probably where I started. But then, then you're getting in, and you're getting in, and you're getting in, and you're getting in, and possibly even in again, So you're talking just like dollar cost averaging out the wazoo, right? But notice how that plays out that way. Now, again, it won't be like that with every company or every stock. You have to be dealing with stuff that can see some real growth in the future. I wouldn't do this with penny stocks or something like that. Or Quantum can really get your goat if you're not careful. Quantum. QUBT, QBTS, eyeing those ones up for sure. You know, it's an emerging sector. That's an interesting one, Weck. They said QQQ is 50 cents above the pre-market high wicks now. It's actually extending out pretty solidly. That is a good move there by the QQQ. What would be a little scalp target since it's at highs? 598? 598 would be really good for a short-term scalp, yeah. And that's very attainable, too, at 598. Very attainable. It seems like that would be a very, very, very small scalp, though. I like it, though. It is attainable. Realistically, you know, $600 is going to be something that I'm sure a lot of people are eyeing up. It's a little far away, though. I don't think that the NASDAQ would get there today. It's not super unrealistic, though. It could. Let me go see Meta really quick. There's a lot of good strength here in the market. Meta. Trying to get a run going. We'll see. Got 785.50 support here. SPY's ripping. SPY moving up to 665, getting close to the all-time high from pre-market. The level that we're at right now is the highest level that SPY has ever been at while the market was open. IONQ is killing me. Sold 41 covered calls. Been holding to get it off the books. IONQ. IONQ is killing me. Sold 41 covered calls. Wow. That is tough. That is tough. Found a good pullback strategy I've been using on QQQ. Just got to wait for the retests. You racked up 80% but lost your method somehow trying to get it back. Okay. Yeah, 600 would be, I think, fairly unattainable today, but... Jason, Alcohol Stylist, said, Tom, the VIX popped up slightly. Is that normal? Generally, this is not very normal, no. This is not very normal. I do have to say, the VIX is down on the day. It's almost green, though. It's almost back to green. It's a weird scenario with VIX right now. We have to realize that the VIX is testing a big support range. Now, I know that VIX doesn't necessarily have to stay on support, right? But what you can notice with VIX is, you know, if we look in the past, it loves to hold its range and bounce off of it, right? It does this a lot. You know, it'll go flat and it'll get like in a range and just start bouncing there nonstop. Like right here, for example. It's hard to get VIX to look good on the chart because it's so crazy. But like, just note here, like we have 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touches, and there's actually way more than 3 touches, but you know, we'll just say each one of these is 1, even though there's like 5 on each one, but nonetheless, it kind of gets the point across, right? That it's probably just flat, right? It's probably just going to stay flat in the range. It doesn't necessarily mean that, you know, the SPY is going to die or anything like that. Right now, anyways, right now. But it could be concerning. It could be concerning. Now, if the SPY starts to move up, like, again tomorrow, and the VIX posts another good green day, and we see it, you know, push, like, 17, maybe higher, then I'd be pretty concerned. Then I'd be really concerned. But usually we don't see the VIX move like that if the SPY's up 0.75%. But it does happen. It does happen. It shows that the market might be pricing in some volatility. You love HOOW, killer dividends. Don't think I've ever seen HOOW. Round Hill Hood Weekly. Oh, it's a Robinhood Weekly ETF. Weekly pay ETF. Wow, okay. Yeah, they have weekly dividends. Wow, pretty solid, too. Yeah. These dividends really aren't bad either. I feel like it could be a pretty risky stock, but just be careful if it starts to die off really quickly. You gotta cut it. They need careful maintenance for sure. Oh, yeah. Don't treat those weekly divvy stocks like passive income. They are not. I know, right? Yeah, yeah. Don't treat those weekly divvy stocks like passive income. Man, I've seen some people get burned on those, like with Tesla and others. How's Nvidia looking here? Go back to check on them today. 176 resistance still coming into play. It's not moving as good as I would hope here. Calling it. Market makers are going to crash everything at 11, taking off the Bermuda. Bermuda. Yeah. You're calling it. Market makers are going to crash everything at 11. Okay, so we got 19 minutes before your call comes to fruition or not. It's pretty funny. There was a guy talking about how he buys in/out of ULTY and HOOW every week to catch both dividends. Bonkers. Whoa. That would be pretty wild of a strategy, huh? I wonder if it worked out for the guy. I'd be curious to talk to him about that, see how he did it. Or see his reasonings and how he entered each week and etc. Michael said he's getting boned on taxes. Nuts in hand strategy for sure. How are these casino stocks moving? Win's not bad today. Let's see the dailies. Okay. Win was trying to bounce off 120 recently. It looks pretty solid still. It's holding it. MGM's dipping, but it's starting to come up off the dip a little bit. What else do we have? We have LVS, Win, MGM, LVS. Let's see. Dipping down as well. It's another casino stock. I feel like I'm forgetting one. MGM, Win, LVS. Maybe I'm not forgetting one. Palantir attempting to move up to 176. It's rejected back down now. Gosh, it ran up well though. Gonna have to watch for nice support here. 172 maybe coming up. Tangy Man says, I spend $4K at MGM Resorts every year, easily. That sounds fun, Tangy. Sounds really fun. Do you go to Vegas a lot or just anywhere? Matt says Evolution, Novo Nordisk, NVO. I haven't checked on NVO in a little while, but it is up 6.65%. Wow, it came up off of that dip very well. I've been eyeing up a long-term position on NVO, but I've been really patient with it. Really patient. Mason's going to be at Win next Friday. There we go. He said Vegas and Reno mostly. Michael says, I gamble professionally, so brick and mortar casinos make me cringe. Do you actually, Michael? What do you play? You play sweepstakes, what? Blackjack and roulette mostly. Oh my god. Mason said, Tom, I was at the casino the other day, got 777s, but wasn't playing the side bets. Would have won the progressive. $23,000. Oh my gosh, Mason. That is wild. Wow. Yeah, sickening, man. That'd probably make up for any of your casino losses your whole life. That's funny. Man. I've had it happen on ones where I would have won like 5,000 and stuff, but nothing like that. Suited 777s. Oh my gosh. It was suited too. Okay. Michael Knight hit a $12,000 jackpot on a $5 spin a few months ago. What the? Now that's pretty wild too. Oh, that's awesome, Tangy. You guys were doing $7.50 spins on Huff and Puff and got 80. Oh. That's such a popular game. TSLA 432. Looking really good with Tesla, guys. Wow, Tesla's looking pretty bullish here. Love the setup. Nvidia, same thing. I like the setup overall. Touched 176 and is trending back down, but I still am pretty bullish on it. SPY touched 665, having trouble breaking through that high of the day, but as the day progresses, it might be able to get through. You still have a screenshot? There we go. Up 19K for the day. Wish the market would just close now, Jake said. Hey, make it close for you. If you're up 19K on the day, close it down. Yeah, definitely dubs in the chat though, Jake, for sure. Yeah, Tangy Man reminded me. Dubs in the chat. That's badass there. 19K on the day. Hell yeah. Mason goes, just shut your laptop. I agree. That's a lot of stakes. Let's see, if you had $50 stakes, let's just say you had really, really good stakes. $50 stakes. 23. That would be 460 stakes. And it could probably be more like 800 stakes at normal prices, but... Is that short-term or long-term holdings too, Wex said? Yeah, Wex curious now, Jake. Is that partly the long-term account? Because then you can't really shut it down, I guess, but... Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Still, though, we had to have some fun, right? Yep. Makes sense. Makes sense, Jake. Wex says, yeah, my port's up like 3K today. Nice. There we go. Today's a really good day. Yeah, I mean, most people should be really happy today unless you're someone that doesn't have any long-term accounts, and then you'll be sad. But I do got to say, as the years go by, long-term accounts are key. Get them going. Get them going. The big winner is Hood, Palantir, Mara, and Intel. Hood, Palantir, Mara, Intel. All of them are doing pretty good. Intel is, of course, the big winner today. But from open, it hasn't really had the best price action. So, I mean, Palantir might take the cake if we're talking about from open, just because it had that nice run at the beginning of the day. Man, it got so close to 598. It touched it. It pretty much touched 598, Wack. Yeah. You got to count that as a touch, but... Damn thing is pulling back now, isn't it, though? It did run up a little bit. You know, it did provide a little scalp, but... Too bad 598.50 couldn't hit. How do you guys feel about the BHVN? Big money play. That's an interesting one, isn't it? Biohaven. I thought it was extremely interesting. The good thing about it is that it's in a range, right? Biohaven is in a range. You know, be careful just asking people to guess on the stock. You know, those are just total guesses, right? At the end of the day, it's in a good setup. And the risk reward is advantageous enough that if support does hold, the risk reward would allow you to benefit pretty well on this. And it has enough time for you to hold it too. And it's also a call debit spread, which is a little bit safer, of course, than just longing the naked calls. But I think it's actually pretty nice, Michael. It's a very nice setup. Of course, all plays won't work out. And in the case this one doesn't, you have to stop out under this support. You know, if 1285 gives out and 1250 starts hitting, I mean, it's got to be go time, you know. That range will be breaking down, and there could even be fake outs, and then it shoots right back. But again, you have to be smart with your risk management, because if you're not, it'll eat you alive eventually. But I like the RR looking at the support there for sure. Michael was thinking it was Friday already. How are we looking on the SPY again here? SPY. Still pulling back off 665. Thought maybe we'd be finding some support by now, but that's not the case. I will say, though, SPY is coming up on support. Keep watching. Support around 662.50 is what I have, and I can see it trying to make a little bounce there. Gonna pull up the watch list here, see what we have leading the way now. Besides Intel, of course. We already know that one's at the top. Rigetti coming up off of the dip a little bit. Rigetti dip, touch 24, is trying to recover up now. It's up 10.8%. Pretty solid move. Pretty solid overall. CrowdStrike up 10% as well. I know we were eyeing that one up earlier this morning. Coinbase is one that is catching my eye. Coinbase and MicroStrategy are up they're both up 6% plus right now, to say it easily. Beautiful with coin. The base is holding up. Wow. Very, very nice. MicroStrategy, same story. The base is holding up, and it's starting to uptrend again. We're starting to tick back up. This could end up being a good opportunity in the short term. Like, we start seeing a good dip buy scenario on MSTR. Good recovery possibility. Really not bad at all. DNN 250 CSPs, 15th of January 2027. Paying $60 right now. Denison Mines Corp. $2.50. That would put it like right at the current price. Gosh, that's a tough one, Tangy. It's right at the money. If it starts to really run, it'll look really good, but I feel like the risk with this one's too high for me to be grabbing it here, but that's just me, though. With the way metals prices are, it's probably plausible that they will run up there. Well, yeah, that makes sense, Tangy, yeah. The break even, obviously, $1.90, which makes it seem a lot better, I suppose. What do you think about it? Does have a lot of time. That's what I figured. You're always cool with getting a sign, Tangy. Everybody, most people I deal with, though, are always really scared of getting assigned. I always say, don't play it if you don't want to get assigned. The only time it didn't work out was AQMS, Aqua Metals. Oh, yeah. And that one's pretty risky, too. Very risky, I'd say. That's a pretty cool analogy, Tangy. You know you can't make omelets without breaking a few eggs. That's funny. Wex says, really need to swap my thinking still on short-term trading. Really crazy how often I'm instantly wrong on short-term trades. Weck, you know, it might be time to adjust your strategy a bit. The main thing I would say is try to look at your entries. You know, go back, look through your previous trades. Or if you can't really do that, start journaling. If you start journaling your trades, you could go back and look and see all of your notes and everything and, you know, start to understand maybe where you're going wrong a bit more. Stonk Journal, STONK Journal is a pretty good one for free. It's pretty solid even, so I would check that one out. I know, Weck, it's a tough game, you know, it's tough. Yeah, Stonk Journal is a really nice website. I would check it. It's pretty solid. I've even used it, so. Tansy Man has 13 spiral-bound notebooks of stock notes back to April of 2020. Now that's insane. But alrighty, guys, we're gonna call the stream there. I appreciate everybody for joining up today and sticking with us throughout this week. I know that, you know, I was gone for a couple weeks, so kind of getting back into the game here a little bit. Tomorrow should be pretty fun. Hopefully we get some really good price action coming through. See you later, Jason. Michael Weck. CDLX is poppin', Brain said. CDLX, let's see. Wow, and they just started running out of nowhere in the middle of the day. Citron Research posts on X, CDLX's next fallen angel to trade much higher, and today's news from Amex shows why. Whoa, what? The Amex Platinum refresh isn't just about perks, it's about the future of first-party data. CDLX is already integrated with Amex, Chase, BOFA, Wells, Citi, and Lloyds. Whoa. It even paused. It got so crazy for a minute. After the pause, now it's been going nuts. It might have actually just paused again. No, it didn't. It just got slow. But alrighty, guys. Let's have a great one. Hope to see you guys in the Discord, of course. Make sure you check out tonight's video. Of course, I'll be live tomorrow morning as well. So set your alarms. Hope to see you tomorrow at Market Open. Other than that, I will talk to you guys later. Appreciate that, Brain. Peace.